Developing right now, almost 100 people have been arrested by Border Patrol since they arrived in Charlotte yesterday. But first this evening, a young person is dead in Winston-Salem after a shooting overnight. I'm Ben Briscoe. Police responded in North Patterson Avenue just after 9:30 last night. When officers arrived, they found a juvenile suffering from a gunshot wound. Officers have not said how old the victim was, but they do say they believe this is an isolated incident. Winston-Salem police are still investigating. If you know anything, please call Crime Stoppers. And a man is dead after being hit by a car in Winston-Salem. Officers say they found 30-year-old Muhammad Lawrence on Peters Creek Parkway last night. Investigators say the driver was not injured and cooperated with police. Investigators say Lawrence's dark clothing made it hard for the driver to see him at night as he ran out into the street. The Winston-Salem Traffic Enforcement Unit is leading the investigation. This death comes as people in Greensboro are trying to raise awareness about pedestrians and bicycle safety. It's the second year in a row that a ride has taken place, hosted by the city and sponsored by multiple organizations and shops. City officials say this event was a chance to inspire change on the road.
We hope today's event will help draw attention to the importance of making room on our streets for vulnerable road users like pedestrians and bicyclists, and that today's ride really symbolizes the city's ongoing commitment to roadway safety.
The community bike shop at Barber Park even provided extra bikes for people to ride. Right now, Border Patrol agents are in Charlotte for what they're calling Operation Charlotte's Web. Border Patrol says agents have already arrested 81 people during the first day of their immigration enforcement. The operation has sparked protest across the city. Michael Warwick spoke with protesters as the operation continues.
Filling out the uptown streetscape, hundreds of people shouted down U.S. Customs and Border Protection Saturday.
It's heartbreaking to see so many injustices taking place, and I just want to make things right and fight for those who can.
As they marched, Border Patrol agents were already across town, preparing to detain or arrest people.
It's really sad, really sad. They're everywhere, like in the Lowe's. Anywhere where Hispanics are, they're going. It's really sad.
Zachary Bodenhammer insisted on bringing American flags to this protest with his fiancée. Angered by what they saw online, this was a way to push back.
I work at a restaurant. I had a guy come pick up an order today, and he had Google Translate on his phone. He handed it to me and said, "This is a dark day for us Latinos." He was a Latino man, and I didn't know what to say except that we're going to try and work against it.
Organizers called the demonstration an emergency protest in response to the Department of Homeland Security saying it's surging DHS law enforcement to Charlotte. The federal agency says its intent is to ensure Americans are safe and public safety threats are removed. Anna Alexander doesn't like the way it's being done.
We have no guarantee that there aren't actual bad actors out there just kidnapping people. There have to be rules to the way that this works. And I seriously believe that immigration is a civil issue. It's not criminal. So this doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm here to put my voice forward and say that this has to stop.
As CMPD blocked roads, protesters peacefully returned to First Ward Park, letting out anger against something Charlotte isn't used to seeing.
This is the American, calling right here. We are here to protest, to hear our voices and give our voices out. That's what democracy is all about.
Well, that's the view of the protesters. The commander overseeing the efforts posted numerous arrests on social media, saying the effort is focused on immigrants with criminal histories. Yesterday, one American citizen said agents busted his window in an effort to arrest him. The Department of Homeland Security responded to that incident this morning, saying American citizens should never help criminals evade officers. During an enforcement operation in Charlotte, this individual became erratic, refused lawful commands, and had to be removed from his vehicle. DHS law enforcement followed their training to remove him. The individual later admitted he was trying to distract officers so others could evade the law. Now switching over to the weather. Ooh, it was really windy out there today, Meg, and it looks like it's still blowing around your hair a little bit.
Yeah, it's still a little breezy out here, but not nearly as windy as what we saw earlier today. I think you're going to be impressed with how strong some of those wind gusts were this afternoon. But let's take a look at where the winds are right now. Sustained wind speeds around 5 to 10 miles per hour in many areas, but Forsyth, Guilford, and Alamance County are seeing the strongest winds, sustained wind speeds of 15, even 20 miles per hour. But take a look at these impressive wind gusts, maximum gusts today all along I-40, 40 miles per hour and higher. I know at one point driving, just had to put a firm grip on the steering wheel because it was shaking so much with these strong winds. Other areas saw wind gusts of 25, 30, even 35 miles per hour. Lots of sunshine today, and you know it was warm. 73 was our high temperature. We should be around 60, so a good 13 degrees above average. Right now we're down to 61 degrees right now in High Point, and the air is pretty dry. Clear skies across the area, and if you look across the eastern half of the United States, very clear with just the northeast seeing some clouds, some rain, and even some snow showers up there. We'll keep skies clear overnight tonight, but it's going to be chilly in the morning with temperatures in the upper 30s. We're going to keep our elevated fire risk for tomorrow. The red flag warning has expired, but we still have that low humidity. It will be breezy, but not as windy as what we saw today. So fires can spread quickly. So please delay any burning if you can. And of course, that drought continues as we have not had significant rainfall in quite a while. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of it coming up in the forecast. High pressure keeping us nice and dry for tomorrow, but it is going to keep us much cooler as well. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast, and we got some changes on the way for tomorrow. 59 is our high temperature, so much cooler for tomorrow. We're back in the low 60s for Tuesday, but take a look at the second half of the week. Yes, the 70s are going to return. Very slight chance of rain overnight Tuesday night, not looking at significant amounts, and just a few showers coming up on Friday afternoon, but not a lot of significant rain in the forecast, but definitely some warmer temperatures.
An overtime battle for the Cats leads to victory. The Panthers advanced to 6-5 on a surprising season so far. The Panthers were in Atlanta today looking to extend their record to 6-5 and complete their season sweep over the Falcons. Bryce Parker has your recap of the divisional bout.
Yes, Ben, we talked about it last night at 11. The Panthers haven't been able to complete a sweep over the Falcons in the regular season since 2013. And when they last met in September, the Panthers actually shut out Atlanta 30-0 in Charlotte. Today, they'd have to get it done on the road. Now we're picking up the action in the fourth. Panthers down by 5. Bryce Young drops back to pass, starts to scramble, but then finds Ted McMillan in the end zone. Panthers would get the 2-point conversion and go up by 3. But the next drive, the Falcons drove down the field to set up a 45-yard Zane Gonzalez field goal that sneaks past the left upright, ties the game at 27, and we're headed to overtime. Now at OT, after the Panthers had a defensive stop, Young throws a short pass to Tommy Trimble, his first catch of the day, and he makes it count, splits multiple Falcons defenders, and he would run this one all the way to the 9-yard line, setting up a game-winning field goal. Then the Panthers tried out Ryan Fitzgerald for the 28-yarder, and Fitzgerald knocks it through. The Panthers win in overtime, 30-27.
Offensively, we had a couple of possessions, early on that got away from us, but settled down and made the plays happen when we needed them to, and we needed all the downs. We needed third down, fourth down, all of it to get it done. But I'm just really proud of the resilience of the group to just refocus, go to the next drive, keep playing. You never know, all the way to overtime. So really proud.
Next week, the Panthers will travel to the West Coast to take on the 49ers on Monday Night Football.
You can always get more Panthers content right here on WFMY+. Stream Locked On Panthers for expert breakdowns of the team's performance. Just go over to that sports tab at the top of the screen. And from the football field to the finish line, athletes conquer all types of challenges as they train to win, even when those challenges seem impossible to overcome. One veteran is gearing up to run a marathon after losing his eyesight. Check it out.
26.2. Yeah.
Matthew Reed ran his first marathon over 30 years ago in his native Minnesota. It was called Grandma's Marathon along the shores of Lake Superior. But they didn't necessarily treat runners like family.
They basically load everyone in buses, drive you out 25.5 miles, and you run along the Superior shoreline. We're dropping you here, In 25.5 miles, you'll be back in the city.
But even that didn't diminish his passion for running. He stopped for a much more serious reason. Reed served in the U.S. Army and spent 2 years in Afghanistan. After returning from overseas, he began losing his eyesight.
It's service connected. So I came back from Afghanistan in 2007. In 2011, I started to notice my left eye was getting fuzzy. I went out to the qualification range and couldn't qualify with my pistol anymore, which was strange.
Reed continued running and finished the Disney Marathon in 2012, but had lost sight in his left eye. 6 years later, the right eye lost sight. Doctors can't give him a reason why.
My VA rating literally says unspecified eye disorder.
So you don't know why?
Nope, there's no direct cause.
Is that frustrating?
Very frustrating.
Reed lost the ability to do so much of what he knew and loved. He considered himself an active person, all of which came to a halt when he lost his eyesight.
I stopped running as I was losing my vision. I stopped doing basically all sports I loved doing over the years. And it was rough. It was very rough.
Part of Reed's therapy involved adaptive sports, which showed him there was more than one way to stay active. He met a fellow veteran who had lost his ability to walk and talk, but managed to give Reed some advice that still motivates him today.
I realized to quit focusing on what I cannot do and start focusing on what I still can do. So through the adaptive sports and the rec therapy and Sportable and all of my friends who participate with me in different sporting activities now, I've learned to focus on what I still can do, and not surprisingly, it's still a lot.
With the help of the folks at Sportable, Reed got back into his active lifestyle. Not without some changes to his routine.
If I'm training on a treadmill, I have to have my hands on the treadmill at all times. A few weeks ago, I actually shot off the treadmill because I let go. But I landed, I did a perfect 10, high five, and then got right back on and kept training. All right.
He ran the Monument Avenue 10K 2 years ago, and for the first time since Disney 13 years ago, he will run a marathon here in Richmond with the help of a guide runner tethered to his wrist,
Right.
helping him avoid tripping over hazards that come with road races.
Big ones. Veer right, veer left. We're coming up on rough ground. We're going to take a left in, 50 yards. As far as it affecting my ability to run, not at all.
For many who will run the Richmond Marathon this year, it's the culmination of weeks and months of training and perhaps the completion of a long-held goal. For Matthew Reed, it will signal a personal transformation he may not have thought possible just a few years ago.
All right, let's roll. I was in a pretty low place 5 years ago, and thanks to being able to get back into all these sports and re-engage with family and friends and things outside of the house, it's just a world of difference. I feel so much better. There are so many organizations around Richmond that work with folks who need adaptive support through sports, and also for people who are just thinking, well, maybe I can do that. I challenge all of you, get up and get out and do it. Let's go! Yeah. Woo!
Big changes in the form of temperatures tomorrow. Cool in the morning if you're going out for a morning run. Bundle up, 37 degrees, 59 by the afternoon. We're back to the 60s on Tuesday. Slight chance of some light rain showers overnight Tuesday, but 70s return for Wednesday and for the rest of the week, and 30% chance of some overnight showers on Friday night as well.
Having this quick dip of cold will make us appreciate the 70s even more.
Absolutely, and it is just temporary. Unusual though.
Yes, the weather is beautiful. I think I need to go outside and just enjoy it. 4 days of 70, when are we going to get that again in November?
Who knows?
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 11 o'clock.